last thing here before we get to Raw, this was also officially announced earlier this week from WWE themselves. This was reported weeks ago from WrestleVotes, and it was made official earlier this week. Saturday Night Main Event is coming back for the first time since 2008. They brought it back in 06, 07, 08, but before that, you would have to go all the way back to their first one in 1985. They did it through 92, I think, and I don't think they did it again after that, between 92 and 06, and they only did a few in 06, 07, and maybe one in 08. But I think this is going to be the quarterly specials that WWE has announced that they were doing with NBC on Saturdays, which is cool. On Saturday, December 14th in Long Island. And I thought, I had seen someone say that maybe they're doing it at the Nassau Coliseum because they're going to be tearing that building down soon, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because I thought they just renovated it or closed it down and reopened it. I don't remember. But apparently that was actually where the first one was ever held, the first ever installment of Saturday Night's Main Event back in 85. So that would make sense. But, obviously you and I did not grow up in the 80s, but you were a wrestling fan when they did the ones in 06, 07, and 08. So your thoughts on Saturday Night's Main Event coming back, and do you have any nostalgia towards the event from those years of watching from 06 through 08?
No nostalgia on the shows. I mean, I don't really remember them really being that must watch, so I guess when they announce this now, like, I hope it's something that, like, it's worth watching. It's not just, like, more programming that has no actual value to it. But,
not like Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, exactly. I hope to God it's not that. But, no, I mean, I remember it, like you said, 06, 07, 08. I thought they were, like, fun little shows, but I think the whole point of these, like, they should be somewhat memorable and, like, I don't know, have some significance to them. So I think they will, like, kind of treat them like that. So I think it's a good thing. I think they said it's going to be on, like, big NBC, right?
Yeah, big NBC, yeah.
So, like, I think that's a good get for them. I mean, they've had the partnership with NBC now forever, so makes sense. But I think it's like a nice little, good, fun night of wrestling. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I agree, especially since there's no pay-per-view in December. We have Survivor Series late in November 30th, the latest it's ever been, I think, on that Saturday. I think right after Thanksgiving, and then that's going to be 2 weeks later. And then we have the Rumble on February 1st. So there's a big chunk of time with no pay-per-view. So, I mean, it's only 2 weeks after Survivor Series. It's not like it's in January or the end of December, but, that's fine. If they still do these well into 2025 and do them quarterly, as the report indicated they would, that could be where Cena's last match is, unless they do a pay-per-view. I mean, this kind of feels like a pay-per-view, although it's on TV, has commercials and shit like that, and I think it might be 2 hours or an hour, I don't know. But, if they do these in 2025, that could be where Cena has his last match. Let's say in like MSG, they could do the day after Christmas or some shit and have Cena's last match on there. So I feel like that would make sense. I'm excited for it. I hope, like you said, it doesn't go the way of like Battle of the Belts, which is what I mentioned, because they announced the same thing. Like, oh yeah, we're going to do quarterly specials on TNT. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And people were like comparing the AEW specials to Clash of Champions back in the day, except they called it Battle of the Belts. Yet they've done 20 of them, or however many they've done, and not a single one has meant a fucking thing. So I hope WWE has a better grasp on that. And speaking of AEW, quick note here, I think the Shockwave thing I had read this morning from Meltzer, don't know if this is completely true or not, but he did say that if they do go through with Shockwave, that would replace Rampage as the third show, and they would get rid of Rampage. So I still don't agree with having more content. At that point, you're just naming it something different on a different network. Who really cares? But at least they're not having 4 shows, and that's not even counting Ring of Honor, and if they bring back Dark and all that other nonsense, at least they would be getting rid of Rampage, which is definitely for the better.